I'm absolutely delighted that we could have this Academia Forum during this Global Social Business Summit. We all look forward. It's a kind of enthusiastic preparation goes on throughout our network to come to the summit and see each other and say hello and hug and kind of have a family reunion. And during this summit, we wanted to have the Academia Forum so that we can take the academia participants separate and discuss about the progress that we have made in our academic institutions and the thinking that is going on and what are the programs are being discussed, etc. And this time when we are doing it in Turin, Global Social Business Summit, naturally we wanted to be in the University of Turin together and see where we are and bring all the academic participants to come together on this forum. And I was just checking the dates when I came to University of Turin before. I see that I know that I have come 3 times, but I was not quite sure which year is when. Now I figured it out, and with the help of the rector, Honorable Rector, that first time I came was year 2000. So this is way before the Nobel Prize, because after the Nobel Prize, I've been visiting many campuses more. But before that, it's 2000, it's quite a long time back. And I was given an honorary degree in that trip. It's a fantastic experience to go through. And I remember how I was transported from the campus to the airport with a police escort, making sure I get to the airport to catch my flight because it's already, we have spent a lot of time on the campus. Don't worry, our police is good. They will escort you, make sure they will go there. And they really did. I was scared to death how they did that. So, but I was very happy that I could visit the campus and meet the students and so on. The remaining one in 2004 and now to 2022. So I'm a familiar person for the campus. I'm absolutely delighted to come back again. The issue that I have raised along the way that universities are wonderful conceptual entity that the human being came out with, so that all the accumulated knowledge of the past can be handed over to a new generation. That's the whole purpose of the universities, to transmit the knowledge from previous old generation to a new generation. And they did it very well. And that's why we kind of bring all these young people to come to the university to take part in the transmission process and be familiar with the knowledge that has been accumulated over years. Because of my experience, I've been raising the question, if that is true, this is what the process of the academic world is, then we have to take the responsibility of all the good things our knowledge has done to the world, and we take the bow. Yes, these are the things that we have done because the knowledge has been transmitted well, and we did so many good things in the world. And we do that a lot. We take pride that we do prepare young people to take over the responsibility from then on. But if we take the pride that we do a good job in transmitting and doing all the good things, my point is we should also take the responsibility that our knowledge has done damages to our world. It has to be equal. But we don't do that. We always keep on explaining something else. As it is, if you see something, excuse me, if you see something terrible happening to the world, I will trace back to the university. Because you must have given wrong things to the people, your next generation, to create all these terrible things that we have. And I do that a lot. And being a part of the academic world, I feel responsible that we have done so much damage to the world by giving wrong ideas and wrong solutions to the world. And I focus on 3 aspects, which many of you are familiar. I said, all the global warming that we have created in the world, the responsibility directly goes to the people who create this knowledge in a wrong way, to go out and create this mess for the world, making the human beings almost an endangered species right now. So this is one. Second one is extreme wealth concentration that happened to the world. It's also because we created wrong conceptual framework, which we practice and we adopted it as if this is the knowledge. There is no super knowledge after that. In the process, we created wealth concentration. And then we created all the technologies and so on, going into the direction what we call now artificial intelligence, which is not yet in a full implementation of it, but the beginning of it. Beginning of it is very scary. We tell people that we now found a way where machines will be smarter than human beings. They will do better job than human beings. They will know better than human beings. That is a very scary thing. If that is that's what finally it comes out as they are planning, and we are calling it fourth industrial revolution already. This is a fantastic revolution where machines will be doing all the work, will come sit and enjoy. And I don't see any enjoyment in it. I see terrible things in it. I see human beings are kind of bypassed completely. Because if machines can do better thinking, better work, there's no need for human being anymore. And that state of affairs where you don't need human beings anymore is a very scary thing, because human being will be obsolete. They have no necessity for their existence. In a way, they will become the garbage on this planet. And that's what these things, I said, coming from the way we made some wrong decisions, wrong kind of framework of our thinking, led us to these dangerous things. One is making us completely challenge existence in this world. Another, in a financial way, in an economic way, all the wealth goes to one direction, to the top few people. And the remaining population of the world has very little to share with each other. So these are the three aspects that we have to take responsibility. So we said to undo that, to realize that, and create a new conceptual framework, we all have to come back to the campus again. There's no other option, because this is the mechanism by which we transfer knowledge from one generation to all generation to new generation. And that we have to now, this is the part of the job of the university, not only to pass on the knowledge, also challenge the knowledge. And challenging the knowledge, that's where we have to do. That's why we thought about creating a little entity within the campus, within the academic framework, what we call social business center, because we are challenging all aspects of economics, which we felt terribly damaging for human existence. So we challenge the very concept that human beings are driven by self-interest. That's the essence of the economics that we learn. Human being driven by self-interest, making human being as a selfish entity. I said, that's terribly wrong. Wrong description of a human being. Human being may be driven by self-interest, but that's not they are all driven by. Human beings are bigger than that. So human beings are driven by self-interest and also by collective interest. That collective interest part is completely wiped off from economics. If you are talking about collective interest, go to the government, they can do the collective interest. Our job is to make money. In the process, human beings turn into money-making robots. That's what the essence of all the problem that we created for ourselves. So we have to come back to the campus to see if we can correct it, we can change it, we can do that. That's where the ideas of social business came, creating business for collective interest without any intention of making personal money out of it. And creating entrepreneurship. This is another complaint I have that human beings are born as entrepreneurs. But the academics, our theoreticians, kept on telling us the best use of human being is to become a job seeker. So in millions and millions around the world, we are all preparing ourselves. We are being trained by our campuses, our universities, to become good job seekers. I cannot accept that role of job seeker as a human being, because the moment you accept a job, you have to surrender your creativity. Job and creativity doesn't go together. You have to abandon it. I said all human beings are born as a creative being. And that is the essence of human being, packed with unlimited creative capacity. By turning them into job seeker, we are depriving the world of that creativity. Because job comes in the tradition of slavery, not in the tradition of entrepreneurship. So I say universities, to begin with, should first focus on unleashing the entrepreneurial power of the young people. If somebody feels like he doesn't want to or she doesn't want to be an entrepreneur, option will be given. Yes, you can work for the entrepreneur. That will be a choice made by the individuals, what they want to do. So there should be parallel things for training young people, preparing young people to become entrepreneurs, be creative, and unleash the creative energy that every single individual has. So these are the issues where we wanted to have a little corner with the university to discuss this, challenge it, refine it, and see what it makes. That's what the Social Business Centers is all about. I'm glad now many social business centers have been created in, I think, 38 countries, more 100 social business centers of varieties of qualities and varieties of involvements and so on, but with very initiative that they could get a corner in the university campus is something justifies the existence of universities to challenge the existing thinking process and see which one is the right path to take. It's become extremely important right now, the role of the university, because the world is coming to the edge of the cliff. Our life will be over on this planet. And it's very close by, it's not too far away from us. And by all indication, all scientific projections, it will be all decided within this century. World which is coming for millions of years, their fate will be decided in 1 century, less than a century, where they exist or they don't exist. Whether we call ourselves endangered species or we call ourselves we are the one who take responsibility of this planet. And that's the challenge we all have to take, and this is what we discuss in the forum, academic forum, and we translate into our actions. And we say that this civilization that we created with our knowledge is about to destroy us. If you want to survive, we have to create a new civilization. So this is a transition process. We have to create a new civilization consistent with the capacity of human being, which is enormous, not limited, and create a world based on human values. The present civilization is based on a money-centric focus of the way that we spend our daily lives. We become money-making robots on this planet. So how to transform the money-making robots into human beings, that's the challenge for us. And that's the direction we have to create that new civilization. And to sum it up, I try to explain it by saying we want to build a world of 3 zeros. 0 global warming, 0 wealth concentration, and 0 unemployment. So if you can create this world, that will be a new civilization for all of us. And that's the only way we can survive. The faster we can do, better chance that we have a survival possibility. If you even delay it, we won't have time for our existence in the world. So that's the kind of time that we are adding. So this is, I hope we can all put our heads together, not that because I say this right, I'm putting it on the table so that it can be discussed. Maybe there are better ways, better way to explain everything, but I give my own experience and kind of bring it together to see whether this is, at least until we find a better one, this probably is the right path to proceed and do that. That's why the Global Social Business Summit is taking place. That's why Academic Forum is taking place, so that we debate and discuss and act. Because unless we act, we have no chance. It sounds terrible, but this is the reality that we are facing right now. And thank you very much to University of Turin to give us a platform to discuss and debate and see what is the right path to take. And prepare our young generation, because they are the sufferers who will have to go through immediately. And their next generation probably may not have any chance at all if we don't do it right. So with those harsh words, we have to face the reality and see where we want to go. And thank you very much for all of you to participate. Thank you. Thank you.